Hearing his sister scream, Bobby panicked, ran to the RV, keeping the woman's death secret. He didn't want to upset Mom, and he was terrified of scaring the family. Suddenly, sounds came from outside the RV, and Bobby freaked. Sister said, "Mom, please don't go outside." He had gone out with a gun to check things, and realized the dog he had tied outside was missing. He shouted for the dog's name at the top of his lungs. Suddenly, someone tapped his shoulder, and Bobby jumped, realizing it was his brother-in-law coming back, boasting about his big game haul from his day out. He came back like a hunter with the bounty, clueless to the danger around him, while Bobby was still on edge, glancing around nervously. He wanted them to sleep in the RV for safety, in case anything went wrong. But his brother-in-law said the RV was too cramped for romance, wanting some quality couple time with his sister, leaving Bobby feeling a bit defeated. If Dad wasn't back by midnight, had Joe and Bobby been looking for him? That ease inside Bobby was instant. Inside the RV, Bobby's sister settled her little niece and before hitting the hay, listening to music with her headphones while Mom was deep in dreamland. Because he witnessed the horrible scene earlier, Bobby was restless. Suddenly, he heard the dog barking, and he ventured out alone to investigate. Meanwhile, someone opened the light by his sister's bed and lifted her blanket. Oh boy, you wouldn't believe what happened next. The sight was so rough it reminded me of my stray cat. This person was stroking his sister's hair incessantly, leaving her petrified. Out of the blue, Bobby spotted some movement in the bushes and sprinted to the RV where his sister and brother-in-law were. He knocked on the window to wake them. His sister said, "No one lives here." Clearly, she didn't take Bobby seriously. Desperate, Bobby finally spilled the beans, telling his sister about the tragic death of the woman and said he felt like they were being watched. Plus Dad still wasn't back. Only then did Bobby's brother-in-law realize the gravity as the ugly guy ordered over the intercom. From afar came Dad's scream. Mom instantly recognized it as her husband's. Bobby's brother-in-law rushed to get the fire extinguisher, failing to notice others in the RV. Everyone was so freaked out they didn't notice anyone else in the RV. Bobby's sister was gagged, unable to make a sound. Before leaving, Bobby's brother-in-law gave his sister a stern look, reminding her to care for her baby, then darted out with the extinguisher. Suddenly, a figure that looked like a monkey jumped down from the roof. Talk about a jaw-dropper. I can't find words to describe him, sorry. He shut the door as others rescued Dad, oblivious. Before long, Mom was burned to a crisp amidst the screams, and Bobby's brother-in-law's fire extinguisher was utterly. Meanwhile, the monkey in the RV was rummaging around and suddenly spotted a parrot in the cage. He bit the parrot's head off. Honestly, talk about gruesome, see, it was seriously nauseating. Out of nowhere, he zeroed in on Bobby's sister, yanked that weird-looking guy off the bed, and began pummeling him. It got me so worked up. Bobby's sister was shrieking in laughter, but outside, no one could hear her over the chaos of rescuing. Bobby's sister fought bravely, but she couldn't overpower him. She was overtaken, leaving me frustrated. Meanwhile, Bobby's brother-in-law was still barking orders at his father-in-law. Just as Bobby's sister noticed something was off inside the RV, she dashed to the back of the RV, spotted the monkey holding her child, and grabbed a frying pan, seizing her chance to counter. The monkey quickly scrambled to his feet, pointing the gun at the child. For a mother, her child is everything. So, Bobby's sister could only plead for mercy. Just then, Bobby's brother-in-law finally put out the fire, and I wondered how she could have missed everything happening. Mum heard cries for help from the RV, picked up a rock, marched over her, and was stunned by what she saw when she entered. Just as she was about to smash it into the monkey, the ugly guy in the RV yelled, triggering chaos. The monkey fired a shot at Mom's belly, and finally, Bobby's brother-in-law heard the commotion from inside the RV. Bobby urged his brother-in-law to hurry back, and in a moment of desperation, his sister grabbed a wrench and stabbed it into the monkey. The monkey swung his gun back at Bobby's sister, shooting without a second thought. After all this time, Bobby and his brother-in-law still had. No one knew how long it had been when the ugly guy took the child. The monkey held Bobby's sister with one hand and found the gun empty when trying to shoot. Before leaving, he uttered, "I'll be back for you," then vanished into the night, while Dad's body was dragged away. Bobby's brother-in-law stepped into the RV, staring at his mother-in-law on the couch and his wife on the floor, unable to believe it, holding his wife in anguish. Finally, he remembered his child, but the cradle was empty. Bobby grabbed a gun, wanting to rush out for revenge, but his brother-in-law insisted they needed a plan first. Otherwise, they'd end up splattered. As they argued, strange noises came from outside the RV. Losing his sanity, Bobby's brother-in-law urged him to shoot under the RV. It was the beast, thankfully alive. The next morning, Bobby's brother-in-law led the beast following the snow trails, discovering a tunnel-like area. The beast led him through the tunnel, unveiling a serene little town. Meanwhile, Bobby and his sister were setting traps, and she lit a tire, hoping the smoke would raise some alarms, clearly a sketchy plan at best. But it might just be the last-ditch idea he could think of, and he was running out of options fast. Bobby used fishing line around the car for an alarm, touch it and it rings. Too smart for his own good. Meanwhile, the camera shifted to Bob's brother-in-law and the beast entering the strange little town. The streets and houses were filled with human-shaped puppets. Were they trying to create the illusion that someone actually lived here?